I just say it.
Welcome to Danu on Fire right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. Today we're checking out the all-new Cheers here at Cinnamon Grand Colombo. If you've not been here, you know it was downstairs. They've elevated it to another level. It's fabulous. And with me I have someone who is making waves. You would have seen his posters hung everywhere. He's making his debut in cinema with the film Rani, which has been really anticipated. Great cinematography that we have seen, fabulous posters, great campaign, and a true story. So quite excited to see it on the screen. Yesterday was the media release, so let's speak to Rehan about his experience with Rani. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. He's a Pete White. I was just talking to him about the time when we played Santa and Elf. That sounds really wrong. Not like we were like having a time in the workshop. It was a theatrical production where I was Santa and
Christmas Carol.
yeah, and he was an elf.
An elf.
Yeah.
In the workshop.
Yeah, that's been what? Oh my God, that's been 12 years ago. 2013.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
A long time.
I know. I think I look more Santa now than then.
You played amazing Santa though, I remember.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, yeah.
I genuinely didn't like the kids. I thought they were smelly by the time I came for here, so they're like. Anyway, so tell me, Rehan, you are okay. So you have been in the creative field for a long time. You also compose music.
Yes, I do compose and produce music. Did it full time for some time as well. But right now as well, I do get projects now and then. I do keep myself creatively active, I think.
Yeah. So is that your full thing? Full-time thing?
No, I also do business development.
Like that's your
for
boring job.
The boring job.
Okay.
And then I have music, and now and then acting.
Now you're an
which is-
actor, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me about how did this? He plays Richard D'Souza in Rani. I just want to know, how did this come about? How did they look at you and think, "Onna mean Richard"?
Well, I think they had been looking for some time for like Richard, and 2-3 months I think they had been looking, but within I think our theatre circles from the English theatre scene who know Asoka and the team as well, my photos had gone around, and I think there's a lot of people to thank for that, and some recommendations or whatever, I guess. But I just got the call all of a sudden, and they wanted to meet. And the first meeting was just for Asoka to get a look at me. I think I was
By
too
that time,
skinny.
have you taken a look at Richard D'Souza?
I mean, of course, I knew who he was and everything. Like, I had even like read his work and stuff. I remember when I was doing some of the workshop plays, Shakespeare full-length plays, Shakespeare in the Park. There were some more elderly people from that generation who, like aunties, would come up and say, "Anne, you look like Richard." No,
Oh,
you know,
really?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I guess I had,
It has always been around.
yeah, but I mean, who would have thought this? Yeah.
When were you born?
1996.
You can be a reincarnation of him.
No. He was taller, fairer.
Height is not the issue here, okay? Sometimes they come about second time a bit smaller.
He was also smarter and more amazing, I think.
So then he met you, Asoka met you.
Yes, did a little makeup. So the makeup, Priyanta was there to just see if we can.
Already good to go. Like
Yeah, yeah. He just wanted to see if we can make this bugger look like him.
yeah.
And he did, I think. Some days. I had to gain some weight as well. Yeah, and it just happened. Yeah.
I'm really happy to see Sri Lanka taking up stories from our own country and creating these personalities come to life on the big screen. Now, I don't think we would have actually researched and come to know more about this character Rani if it was not for this film. I think a complete generation would have never known about this person.
I think there's an entire generation that doesn't at all. So
and the nuances of what life was during that time.
Yeah.
So, how long did you get to be in this character before you got onto screen?
I think it was just the research that I did really was more always about the little stuff that's there online, honestly, compared to the amount of work that Richard actually did. The work, like his acting, his poetry, all of it was, I guess, glimpses into like how he projects himself. But the film was rather focused on what he was like, maybe personally, in his private life with his mother and other people.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people who can give testimonies about him because a lot of people know of him and him.
Absolutely. And people who are like
There today.
today. So I think I just focused on building a character that could deliver this story, the core of the story, which was the love between a mother and her son.
Yeah.
So I think I had a bit of a blank slate also in that way to use my imagination a little bit, and I really hope I did him justice in some way.
A lot of people only got to know Richard Soisa or still remembered for the fact that he was kidnapped and murdered, and that's the only line that people speak about. That's so much to him. All right, so this is the guy who's playing it. I'm so proud. When I saw the posters, I was like, hey, I'm so happy. It's always nice to see young talent coming up, and more than that, to be, and I'm so happy that Asoka also had his eyes open to look beyond the normal circle. And I think that's the most important thing. So well done on that as well. I think, yeah.
Blessed, yeah.
That's the most important thing. I think at the end of the day, it also comes to directors and producers looking beyond so that they don't settle for less and just find the right talent.
The talent.
Let's get into a break. We'll see you on the other side. Do stick around. This is Danu on Fire. Welcome back to the show, and we're speaking to Rehan about Rani. Now, this Rani movie has been done for over a year.
Yeah, finished filming a year ago. Yeah.
And then post-production and all happened.
Yep.
And you all just sat put, didn't say a word.
Yep. Waiting, anticipating.
How many people knew that you played this role?
I think I did tell people when it was happening, and then even I couldn't really gauge like what was going on. But I did kind of like move on from it as well in the last year.
I did something like this.
But yeah, I think now it's like kind of hitting as the publicity stuff gets out there, and yeah, everyone does now, I guess.
Is this your first interview?
Yes. Yes,
Good.
it is.
I always do this. Right after this, you'll get 100 more. Because there are people who just take the people I take. So I like it. I create avenues like that. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Thank you.
I'm always happy to have new people. So now I want to ask you, in terms of this film, you saw it for the first time yesterday, full length.
Yeah.
What would you tell for those who are watching this, why they should go and watch it?
I think it's just a really, really important story that people, everyone right now in Sri Lanka needs to know. The first thing being just the amazing people that Manu Rani Saramuttu and Richard Izoisa were, the work that they did during the time. But also just about the kind of political climate that existed in the time, and Sri Lankans just move on so fast from things. I think the generation that experienced it has probably forgotten it. There's an entire generation right now on TikTok who probably wouldn't know anything about these people. So I just think it's just very timely because, yeah, things are always changing politically in our climate here as well. It's an important story.
Brilliant. See, that's a reason. Definitely so well shot, so well put together for what I've seen so far. I can't wait to watch it on the big screen as well. So it's good that you go support. Now let's speak about Rehan apart from this film. Now, are you willing to take up roles where you get to run behind the trees, sing those songs, carry the girl?
I'm honestly open to and expecting I'm not sure.
You can't
really
always
what's
play
next for me.
Richard.
No, I know. I do like, I think, straight, serious roles more than like. Even though my love for music exists, musicals is not really much.
Like if
my
I
thing.
sing, "Patum pen patum,"
I don't think that's me. That's not the actor I am.
just wanted to see if you were getting there or like staying to this side or.
But who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, I won't be surprised if I see you down Peradeniya somewhere.
Behind a tree.
Yeah, just doing one of those duet. But it's a good feeling, Yeah. But tell me about this music thing. So you produce tracks for commercials and.
Yes, for artists, social media pieces.
Even for artists to sing.
Yes. I did produce for a few artists. My work, I think, in music has been just constantly changing in different ways. But I do produce everything in the box. It's called inside this computer.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't need anything else.
Yep.
Yeah. And that has been going on for some time.
Yes. Also, like I think a childhood passion, just like acting, that turned into something that gets me some bread and butter. It's definitely something that I'm still engaged in actively and working on. Yeah.
Your parents saw the film?
No one else.
Nobody?
Yeah,
Even yesterday?
No. It's the media premiere, so the premiere is on the 30th. That's when everyone gets to see it.
Amazing. All right, so that's exciting. Now, in terms of your, a lot of people who got caught in the whole COVID lineup of life, they missed a big chunk of school, and believe it or not, it sort of really crafted us in terms of theatre, in terms of everything else that we did apart from what we did in a classroom.
Yeah.
How important was all of that to bring you to where you are today?
That's a really great question. I think creatives, especially during that time, suffered in a special way because everything just stopped, right? So that was anyway my break because I had just finished my higher education and got back as well. So it was a time of discovery, I think, and really deciding what I want to do with my life. And Sri Lanka, obviously, things were kind of turning on its head, but got through it, I think, and I think I'm really hopeful for what I think music, arts, everything's really starting up again, and people probably use that period as just like I did to really discover what they want to do with themselves, and I think it's showing. There's a lot of things happening now, a lot of film, independent stuff. It's great.
And I think it's very important that we sort of, prioritize these things. If you have kids going to school and they're like, oh, I need to study, just make sure that you study plus do all of this. Otherwise, they ain't going to see the good side to life. We get to get into a break. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to the show, our final segment with Rehan. You can see him on the big screen after this. You don't need this tiny, cramped little screen to see him. You just see him larger than life, playing Rani's son. Now, I have to ask you, tell me about working with Asoka.
It was truly kind of humbling.
By the way, Asoka, he wanted to talk about you. That's one of the reasons we have kept this segment for you.
Said it.
Yeah, dedicated to Asoka.
Dedicated to Asoka. Thank you, Asoka. Thank you. I think it was just his decision to believe in me that led all of this to happen. So I think, first and foremost him, but also everyone that kind of comes with his team, with his production team, with the actors that he works with. Everyone was just so inviting, accepting, and I just really loved how everything came together in a very comfortable and humbling, respectful way. Yeah.
That's amazing. In terms of future, this stories like this, have you ever had a story in your head that should be brought to life? I have one. I've been telling that a few times.
What is it?
Sirimavo.
Lovely one.
Thanks.
But yeah, I think there's so many stories within Colombo, people, figures that we respect and look to. I'll tell you one. Lucky is
No.
great.
These are people we need to sort of create life with. Now, you were not even born in the time when Richard D'Souza was around. Did you meet some of his people, like people who have associated with him?
No, I did not. And I think Asoka kind of like really told me that that wasn't going to be necessary. Because like I said, this was going to
The
be
storyline was something that didn't need that particular part to it.
Yeah, possibly. Just because this was a look, an attempt to portray what he was like in his private and personal life.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would ever be able to truly be that, but I can do my best. So yeah, this was a bit of imagination, definitely as well, on what this great human being was in his small moments.
From theatre to screen, it's an easier transformation in my opinion than from screen to theatre, because I think you learn all the hard stuff in theatre, projection, controlling of emotions, all of that. How was it when you had to sort of apply that to your cinema experience?
Of course, yeah, it was just toning down to like 5%.
Yeah, you'll cry like, but you'll cry like,
Just bat your eyelid.
Yeah, that's
it.
enough.
But I think, Asoka, again, the director just gave me the best direction. He just said, just don't act.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is in film. Films like this nowadays, there's a lot of naturalistic acting, so you just have to.
You just don't need to act. You just need to just go there. And,
It's easy.
Yeah. All the others are just making a big drama out of it. But I think theatre is a harder format of acting. But I think when you learn that craft, it's easier for you. Who are you waiting to get a feedback from?
Wow. I think my family would be a very important one, for sure, yeah. So on the 30th, I can't wait to see what my family says, because of course they've seen the journey from the start. You have too, I think. From like, theatre has been a passion since I was very small, and I think I didn't start off with any kind of stardom or anything like that. So the journey, they've been through with it, been with me through it. So yeah, can't wait to hear what they say.
Brilliant. Well, so proud. I'm so happy that you're doing this. I think we need to have more stories like this told, and we have so much of talent here. We don't need to go fish anywhere else. We have it all in the pond in Sri Lanka. So on that note, thank you so very much for being here, Rehan. I wish you all the very best. So proud to see you grow. On that note, we need to say a big thank you to our friends at Cinnamon Grand for always keeping us and making us feel at home. It's just amazing. Cheers, you're looking fabulous. I'll be here soon. Until we see you again, you keep smiling. It's a wrap.